So we're going to be creating a little program that will display either a picture of Chicago at night or a picture of Chicago during the day, depending on which button you click. So you are going to need to download the two images. You should put them in your lesson 12 media folder. And then once you have both of those downloaded, you're going to go into VS Code and you are going to create a new document. You're going to save it as events. And this should go right into your lesson 12 folder. And it should be a HTML file. And then you're going to key in all of the code. And the CSS that we're using, there's really nothing new. So this is CSS you are familiar with, but we've basically added padding to the buttons so they're bigger. And we have a background of black and a color of white. So that would be the text color that is white. When we hover over the buttons, the background is going to change to dark red. And then for the image itself, we did add some padding around it. We included a background color, so behind the image in the padded areas where we're going to see that color. In addition, we have an outline, 5 pixel solid black. We set that, we have an offset of 20, so it's going to be away from the border of the content area. And then for the image, we just set a width of 50, and the height is automatically going to adjust. Then down in the body, we are center aligning what is in the body. And we set a top margin at 5%. That just moves it down a little bit. And then we have our image tag. The initial setting is to Chicago night. And you'll notice that we have an ID of Chicago on this. That's actually important when you're dealing with JavaScript. Okay? And then we get down to our buttons, and the buttons actually change the picture. So the way that is done is we use document.getElement by ID, and the ID that we're targeting is Chicago. That is the ID in the picture. And what we want to change is the source, okay, the image source. So we've got document.getElement by ID, Chicago.source. And we're just setting that equal to our image. So the image is in the media folder, and then we've got the name of the image itself. So we have a button that says, click to see Chicago during the day, and then we have one that says, click to see Chicago at night. And depending on which button they pick, the different images are going to be loaded. So we've saved this. I'm going to go ahead and open this in a web browser so you can see how it looks. Okay, and then we can click on the different buttons and basically see that same scene during the night or day. Now, if you click the buttons and there's a problem, then you do need to press F12. Because in pretty much all the browsers, that opens up this little window, and they all have a console tab, and any errors that you encounter will be displayed here. And typically you can click on the error and it will actually take you to the line in the code that has the problem. And then when you're done, you just click on the X to close that little error window. Okay, so that is pretty much your first exercise.